What's up, guys? Today I wanted to talk about the story that I didn't get to finish about the survival situation, about me being lost in the mountains, no way to escape, hot day, running out of water, and we barely made it out. Well, spoiler, but guess what? I'm still talking, so I did make it out. So, the summary of the story from last time is that we brought a Jeep out to the mountains and we went on a very dangerous trail. This trail was super dangerous. We were going sideways, upside down, all around. We were going everywhere. So we started going on this trail and we went on this trail for a couple hours, and then we found a spot that we really liked. So we got off the Jeep and we started exploring. After we were done exploring, we saw a tree. So we went by the tree, we sat in the shade. It was a very hot day, so you really like the shade when it's a hot day. So we stay there for about an hour. An hour passes by, we come back to the Jeep, and you know what we hear? All we hear is this. You know what that is? It's not a snake. It was the Jeep's tire slowly deflating. And no way to get out other than the Jeep. Our Jeep was our only way of escape, because we were in there for hours. So now, as we all hear the tire slowly deflate, we're all saying to ourselves, oh shit, we need to get out of here before the tire completely deflates and we lose our time and we can't escape. So we all get back on the Jeep pretty damn fast and we start riding it out. We start riding the trail and we watch the tire. The tire keeps getting lower and lower. Yes, it keeps getting lower and lower, and we keep watching it. We're going over rocks, we're going sideways, we're going all around. And now, here was the deal. We were so deep inside the trail that we could not reverse our steps and go back. We had to follow the trail all the way through. And the thing is, we've never been here before, so we didn't know where the trail ended. So we took a huge risk committing to that. So we start following the trail and we start going down ravines and crevices, and we start seeing all the mountains. We start going down. So once we reach the place we go down, we find a river. So then we follow the river on the Jeep. The trail goes on the side, and then we have to go inside the river to find our way out. So we go inside the river, and there's trees all over covering us. We're going inside the trees, and it's like a cave of trees, and all the branches are getting stuck on me. They're getting stuck on the tree. Everyone's getting so messy. So we keep going through that river and all those trees, and we finally opens up. And when it opens up, we're like, yeah, we finally made it. We keep going, and then there's a gate. There's a yellow gate with a lock on it. And we're like, no way. We're done. We're cooked. We made it all this way to be stopped by a gate and a lock. And we can't escape. We're going to be stuck here. We got to call a helicopter or something, even though we have no service. So how are we going to do that? So we were very scared. So you know me, Superman, ultra strength. I stepped out of the Jeep with maximum aura, and when I stepped out of the Jeep, I went to the gate and I grasped it with my two gigantic hands. And when I grabbed the gate, I pulled it back. I pulled it to me as hard as I could, and I popped it out of place, and I opened the gate widely. But in reality was, somebody's never locked that gate securely. It wasn't even that locked. The lock was just there for show, and the gate wasn't even locked, and I just popped it open with a hard push. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't know what was going on with that gate. It had a freaking lock on it. It was freaking locked, and it was hard to pull back. And then I yanked it, and somehow the lock popped out and it opened up. It was divine. Something happened there, but the lock popped out, and I opened that gate up, and everyone was celebrating. They're like, yeah, yeah. And I was like, come on through. They're like, you saved us. I saved everybody that day, and we went through the yellow gate. So then, when we went through that yellow gate, we still had a whole mountain to climb over with the Jeep, and we were still looking at that tire getting lower and lower. But that wasn't our only problem now. Now that we were going over the mountain, the Jeep started to overheat because of all the strain we were putting on it to climb so much. And it was a hot day, and that Jeep was boiling. So what we did is we got our ice, our waters, because we had a cooler. We got our water, we started throwing it inside the Jeep filter, inside the engine. We started cooling off that Jeep, but we were losing water because of that. It was a risk. It was either we save our water and don't dehydrate, but our Jeep stops working and it overheats and explodes or whatever. Or we use a little bit of ice, throw some water in it, stop the overheating, and keep using the Jeep. So that's what we did. We used the water and ice, and when we put it inside the Jeep filter and like touching the engine, the steam was rising. There was so much steam coming from the Jeep. That's how hot it was. It was evaporating that water. So we sat there for a second, waited for the Jeep to cool off, and we continued our journey.
Mission begins in 60 seconds.
Let's get him!
Teleporter coming right up.
Noch weiter! I am fully charged!
Mission begins in 30 seconds.
Teleporter coming right up.
Mission begins in 10 seconds.
Pyro is a spy!
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.